Hello and welcome back to the 2024 editions of the 9PL podcast, where it is no longer than 9 minutes. Our first entry for 2024 is the returning teams, the Southern Sharks. Mate, what made you want to come back?
Well, we want to sort of retain the crown, obviously, but mate, we had an absolute ball up there. We sort of, to be honest, we just threw a team together. I hassled blokes to get up there, and we magically got like a really good side together. A few late inclusions, but we had an awesome time, and everyone still talks about it from the end of the event. So it was just a no-brainer for us to go again.
Well, I find it interesting that you just had to throw together. You had three blokes from the same family in the Barbato brothers, and they absolutely tore shreds. Curtis Scott was a cheat code for you, so I don't know how you jagged him late in the year, but
brown paper bag.
Well, I suppose going on from that,
Yep.
you're going into 2024. Will you have the same sort of group of boys, or if you look to onboard new players, like what's your process this year?
Well, now I can see that this thing's going to be massive. I can see it. You've done a great job here, mate. So what I tried to do this time is where I'm from, we call the Southern Sharks. So basically sort of Cronulla to Bateman's Bay. There's three big competitions around that area. We've got the Illawarra competition, the Group 6 and the Group 7. So I coach in the Group 6, but I've still got a lot to do in the Illawarra and in the Group 7. So I'm sort of pick and choosing players from the three competitions, which are really strong competitions. You've probably got them three competitions, Newcastle, Canberra, the ones in the New South Wales. So I'm hand-picking probably the better type of players. And people are approaching me, sending me highlights, sending me, a bit of stuff. So, I decided to sort of make it like that sort of thing. And that's why we are getting a little bit of excitement from that area. Blokes wanted to come up and play. So, pumped.
Yeah, it's exciting to know that there are, people more willingly wanting to come back and play for your team as opposed to pushing blokes along. The recruitment's a little bit different this year. But is there anyone that you could sort of name drop that you might have coming, back playing for your team, or that you might have that might be playing locally, that might be playing for you this year that wasn't in last year's side?
Wasn't in last year's. Well, do you want a big name, or do you want?
Give me whoever you can.
All right.
Mate.
So this guy, he's played a bit of representative footy. He's most famously known for barbecuing alone, but James Maloney's put his hand up. To guide us around. But I'm also going to get a lot of the younger blokes that are up and coming in my competitions I'm involved in, to try and partner him, because he'll be able to feed the ball around. But it's a long day. Gold Coast, obviously 2-day event now. Those young fellas are crucial, eh? Yeah,
absolutely. I think James Bastani will be very filthy trying to compete with these other guys, especially the young throbbers in the Illawarra sort of, what is it, Dapto comp, Group 6, Group 7.
Exactly,
so it's going to be very tricky for him, unfortunately. But will you do like a preseason draft, and how will you survive, I suppose, without Jeremy Lattimore? Because I'm sure he'd want to know how you are going to do it without him.
Yeah, well, he's put himself obviously on the staff still, so he's part of the team, party liaison. But he's a funny one. Like he'll get closer to it, and then all of a sudden he'll start sort of referring himself in third party, like Big Jerry could be ready to play, Jimmy. And then all of a sudden, as you get closer, like he wasn't going to play until the day before of the thing. I woke up that morning and Big Jerry's ready to go. I'm playing, put me on straight away. Not from just play a few minutes here and there, start me, So he says he's not playing now, but, like I said, he'll start referring to himself as Big Jerry closer to the tournament. I reckon he'll inject himself, mate.
Well, he tries to say that, he uses it when it's relevant. He'll say 13-a-side isn't for me anymore when he played in the nines. And then he plays in the nines, he's like, 9-a-side isn't for me. I'm more of a 13-a-side kind of guy, hit ups and wrestle. So I'm sure he'll find his place, either pestering someone or putting his hand up to play. Either way, it'd be good having him there.
Definitely, mate, yeah.
What are the Southern Sharks looking to get out of 2024 in the comp?
Yeah, well, we're going to have a good time because it's bloody the right time of year. And a few fellas got asked to play up in a Queensland Cup side. One of the boys got a gig, a train on trial in New South Wales Cup. So believe it or not, there was actually a fair bit of obviously people looking at the talent there and then. So, but for us, we obviously want to compete again. It was, we enjoyed it so much because we won. We want to be thereabouts again. But I also want to show all them boys that are trying to get into the side, like how good it is, you know what I mean? And every year just build this team to the point where, mate, it's a privilege to be picked in it or, and come up and play with us.
That's awesome. And I think that's definitely the angle of what we're trying to achieve is more tournament style sides as opposed to your regular in-season club team.
Yep.
You get an opportunity there to have your creativity, onboard players from other teams, reconnect with friends as you've got, Maloney coming back and playing with you guys, as well as, enjoy a pre-season sort of hit out on the Gold Coast. So I think there's all the right reasons for blokes to want to put in a side, and we're very excited to have you back, mate.
Yeah, well, we're just on that. Like we've got a major final this weekend. Curtis Scott's actually playing against us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I had a few boys from the Oakdale that we're going to bring up, which is another opposition that we played against. So, it's almost making like our competition that we play in locally a bit more funner too, because you've got that little connection with these opposition guys that you probably don't like usually, and you get to spend a weekend with them on the Gold Coast. So, yeah.
Very good, mate. Well, thanks so much, and I look forward to interviewing you in a couple months' time to get an update on the Southern Sharks.
Sounds good, mate.
Cheers.